Welcome to Michelle Vandepass's Purpose and Profit, where Michelle asks deep and challenging questions about how to live large, shine brighter, and explore our personal edges. Go with her into an exploration of where we are headed with purpose and profit, individually and also as a human race. And now here's your host, my friend, Michelle Vandepass.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the show. It is my honor and privilege to have my friend and author here, Debbie Mirza, with The Safest Place Possible, Becoming Who You Are Meant to Be. That's the title of her brand new book, just published. It is a fabulous book. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
The Safest Place Possible. That's actually a really powerful title because you didn't always feel safe. In reading the book, though, I'm not sure you knew you didn't always feel safe until you really got to the place where you felt safe. Explain that difference. Explain how you got to feel really safe and honor that.
Yeah, well, the birth of the book was I was on a trip in Bali. I was married for a very long time, and I had not seen things in the marriage. I don't know if it was because I didn't want to see them or they were just very stealth, very subtle. So it wasn't till it was a very painful divorce and a very confusing divorce. And after about a year after the divorce, I was just feeling very lost. I had moved the kids and I to a different city, put them in school. I was starting to build a career that I hadn't had before. And I was operating in life, but my heart just reached a point where I didn't want to function anymore. I had no interest in anything in life. I just felt, I don't know if I'd say dead. I just felt lifeless, without passion. I think a deer caught in headlights in many ways.
That's a great word, actually, just like kind of lifeless.
Yeah. So I thought the only thing I had a desire to do was run away.
So you did?
Very far away, yeah. And so my wonderful dad offered to watch the kids, and he had a friend in Bali that offered me a free place to stay. That I can't pass this up. And so I went to Bali. I've never done that before, completely by myself, didn't know anybody, but I just wanted to go somewhere totally different and stare at rice fields and just cry for as long as I needed to, or just stare for as long as I needed to. And if I was in Bali, I was in the same city as Elizabeth Gilbert was, that her book, Eat, Pray, Love, came from. And she went to a certain medicine man. So I thought, okay, I want to go to a medicine man. So I went to a couple. I went to the one she went to, and then one that this guy I met, Balinese guy I met, recommended. So at one of them, this man was so tender with me, and he, read my palms and told me different things that were going to happen. And he kept putting his hand over my heart, just hovering over it. And he said, you must take care of your heart. When your heart happy, more happy come to you. And he kept saying that with kind of an urgency in his voice. And it stuck with me. And I felt like if I got nothing else from this, I need to get that. So I went back to my hotel type room. And that night I was crying, and I was just literally like sobbing, fetal position on the floor, kind of crying, deep crying, where I knew this went past the hurt of the marriage. And I realized what I'm grieving right now is a lifetime of not listening to my heart, not honoring it, not trusting it. And in many ways, it felt like my heart was like this girl who had been caged for a very long time. And I spoke to her. It's like I spoke to my heart as if she was a young girl. And I said, I'm so sorry. I realize that I have not been a safe place for you to live in. I have not been someone who has listened to you and trusted you. And that's going to change. And I promise you this, when we get home, I'm going to behave differently with you. And that's what launched me into probably a year or more of being guided into how do I do that? What does that actually look like in practical terms to change the way I am with myself? How do you go from living that way your whole life to suddenly trusting yourself? So it was definitely a process, and it really radically changed me. And I noticed it started changing things around me, and my life started feeling different, and things started happening easier for me, and it felt like flow. And so I was talking to a friend of mine, and she said, you know, the way you live your life is quite different.
Uh-huh.
You should write this down. Like today, when you were so sad, what you did with your sadness isn't that typical. She's like, I think it would be really great to write it down because this could help a lot of people. So I was like, oh, that'd be cool. So I started, that was the birth of the book.
So yeah, fabulous. And as a reader, this story with the medicine man and your heart comes early on in the book, but it sets up the whole book for where you're coming from. And it's also actually very powerful about how you really heard that, because I think maybe it's Bali. I've never been to Bali. Maybe it's the medicine man, the place you were in, but I think we're often told, open your heart, listen to yourself, be in your power. And it doesn't always click. Whereas for you, you got it at a really deep soul level.
Yeah, I think when you experience so much pain for so long, it does push you to places you wouldn't otherwise go. You know, it squeezes things out of you that are ready to be healed, that are ready to come up. And I think that's what happened to me.
So you made an interesting comment from your friend who said you don't deal with sadness the way other people might. Tell me what you mean by that.
I went through quite, in my early 20s, I went through some depression. But then since then I think I've had some underlying sadness, but I really went through a lot of depression during that year, pretty intensely. And before, if I'd feel sad, I would try and get to a happy place. I would try and get to a peaceful place. I'd try and get myself out of it. And this time what I did is I decided to stay with it. I thought, you know what? I'm going to go as deep into the sadness and I'm just going to stay here and I'm going to be with it. And I did different things where sometimes I would talk to it and I would say, what are you here? I recognize now you're here to help me. So can you tell me, why are you here? Like, what is it that you want to tell me? What is it that you're trying to show me? And then other times it was just, I almost felt like my heart was watching me. Is she really going to take care of me this time? And so I felt like it was a way of honoring my heart by staying with it and going, you're feeling this for a reason. So I'm going to be here with you. I'm not leaving. I'm not going to try and change you. There's nothing bad about you. There's something in this for me. And it was interesting because I know myself and with a lot of us have this fear that if we are sad and if we stay there for a long time, we're never going to come back, you know? And for me, the opposite happened. It was almost like I didn't put a Band-Aid on it. I healed it, you know, like whatever. The sadness was coming up for a reason, and I listened to it and I got really honest, and sometimes it lasted, you know, a few days or a week, or now I don't remember, but when I came out of it, I felt different. Like one thing I noticed about sadness that I started really enjoying was I noticed of any other emotion, it makes you very present. It makes you in your body, you know? And so I started kind of enjoying that feeling. And it was funny because sometimes when I'd start getting happy again, I'd get fearful that I wasn't going to have that stillness inside me, because there's a real stillness if you sit with that sadness.
So at any point, did you feel like you were in danger since you'd been heavily depressed in the past? And did you ever feel like you needed therapy or you needed more additional help, or did this just feel different than the depression?
No, that's a good question. there were times since the divorce, I've definitely gone through some therapy and some coaching. During this time, I don't think I did. I think I felt a lot of trust in myself. I knew I had tools. I knew I wasn't going to do anything drastic. It wasn't to that level. It did get to the level where I wasn't interested in this life anymore. It definitely got to that level.
Yeah, that feels a little scary to me. And so I just have to honor you that you were able to go to that place and hold it.
Yeah.
And come out to a place where it was healed, because I think that's a really difficult balance for many people.
It is. I think I was at a place in my life where I knew myself so well by then. I think at another time in my life, I would have known I need therapy. I need help. For some reason, I had this inner knowing that I was being guided in this process.
That's
and I
important.
knew how to take care of myself. So I think I learned just not to be fearful of myself anymore.
Wow.
You know?
That's powerful.
Yeah.
So let's take a minute. You have a copy of your book. I don't have a copy yet. I can't wait to get mine. Hold it up.
Good.
Let's see it. Put it. Okay.
Can you see it there?
Perfect. The safest place possible. Now, you have a companion workbook, and in this workbook, you have so people should really buy the set together when they're getting this on Amazon and elsewhere. But the thing is you have some exercises in the companion workbook to help other people go into just being with the sadness, or healing their heart, or listening to what your heart wants to say, and all those kinds of things. So you have some guided ways to help people get in touch with that. And I just wanted to make that point.
Yeah, and I love the workbook idea too, because an individual could do this if they want to go deeper and really do the exercises that I talk about in the book. And it can also be used if you're a life coach or if you're a counselor. It would be a really wonderful book club type of book. To all go through and then share how was your experience when you went through this, and what did you discover and find. And I think that it would be a fascinating, really bonding book to go through with other people too.
That's a great idea, and I'm going to come back to the book in a minute, but I was going to ask you, are you going to do those book clubs? Because not only are you an author, you're a musician, you're a singer, you're a workshop leader, you have so many things going on in your life. Everyone should rush to your website, DebbieMirza.com. DebbieMirza.com, right?
Right. Well done. Yeah.
And I'll have it printed along with this. But so are you going to be doing book clubs, and have you thought about doing your own workshops around this book yourself?
You know, it's a good question. At this point, I don't think I'm going to do them myself. That could be something I do in the future. I know already I've gotten an email from a life coach that really wants to do it. So one thing I thought about, I thought it would be fun. I could arrange something where I show up on Skype or something. You know,
wouldn't that be fun?
At the end. Yeah, it'd be really fun. It would be really special to hear how the experience is for people. So I think right now I'm focusing on my time's being taken up by some other projects, but I can definitely see possibly doing that. I think that would be great to do.
Yeah, fun. So let's get back to the book, because I have a whole ton of questions here. You have a chapter titled Spiritual Closet.
Yeah.
Talk to me. I've read the book, but just talk to me about what the heck's a spiritual closet.
So every chapter is basically what's another way I can make this body a safe place to live. Every chapter talks about what's another way that we can make ourselves a safe place to live in. And so I start out the spiritual closet chapter talking about there's many ways that we hide. Oftentimes as women, sometimes we hide our beauty because we're scared of shining, because we're scared of other women being envious or distancing ourselves. We're scared of being big. We're scared of being, successful. We're scared of being, there's just so many things that we hide with, I don't know if I explained that well, but anyway, spiritual closet is one way that I have hidden in my life, because I was raised very Christian. And in the book I say it, and by that I mean very, very, very Christian. And my spiritual beliefs have really changed over the years. And so that's been something, you know, some people, political stuff, they tend to not talk about because you don't want to, like, you know, lose friends. For me, that's been a thing in my life that I have hidden and I have not spoken about publicly. I can tell it's even affecting me talking about it, because it goes quite deep for me. So the whole chapter is my story of my spiritual evolution, basically, and how one way for me to take care of myself and become a safe place is to really allow myself to be on my own journey, you know, and allow myself to not have all the answers, and allow myself to be different, you know, and allow myself to be okay with other people being not okay with that. And I end the chapter just talking about, you know, with humanity, it would be so nice if we could just give each other permission, you know, to be on our own journey, and it's okay. And none of us knows anything for sure.
Right.
So many possibilities. And so yeah, just embracing that and giving myself a safe space there. And I think also part of that is recognizing I'm not ready yet, or this person doesn't feel safe to me, you know, to share. So I'm not going to. So it's a lot of taking care of myself, with that topic.
Yeah, in the book, several times I remember that you talk about hiding out, but you also mentioned that sometimes it's perfectly okay to hide out.
Yeah, I have a chapter on hiding. You know, we, especially in Western culture, we're so into accomplishments. And, you know, even myself, I find when I have empty time, am I using it wisely? And, you know, we're just so like 7 steps to success, you know, all this stuff. And so when I went through a period where I needed to hide, I needed to pull away from society and people, and I needed to stay home or be in nature. Those were my 2 spots. And I needed that for myself. So I'm such a believer in hiding and running away. When you feel that desire, like, I don't want to see people, I don't want to talk to people. I knew in this time in my life, it wouldn't be forever, but I need to hide right now. And I need to take care of myself and only talk to maybe 2 friends that I feel so comfortable with and so loved by, you know? So yeah, I'm so about listening to what you're craving, you know, what your body is longing for, and feeling like, this I can handle right now. I know at some point I can handle more, but right now this is all I can handle.
Yeah, that's really nice, because I think there's a real movement right now with coaching and people in our industry to encourage clients to, like, come out of hiding. And I think that's also very valuable. But I love how you say that it's okay to run away. It's okay to hide, because it's really honoring yourself and where you are in the moment.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
So there's one more chapter I want to just talk about, and then we'll wrap up with some other things. But you talk about the mirror in mirror work. So explain what you mean by that. I think it's a concept that some people have used, but let's hear your take on it.
Yeah, so I first heard about mirror work from Louise Hay's book. I think it was You Can Heal Your Life, but one of her books. And it's where you hold a mirror up to your face. You look into your eyes, and she would have you say, I love and appreciate you, or something like that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, affirmations. Different affirmations.
Yeah. I'm this, I'm that. Yeah, whatever you want to be. And when I first started that, it was years ago, maybe 10 years ago, and I had such a difficult time saying it. It's like, wow, why can I not say this? And my daughter at the time was like 8 years old. Now she's 18. She came by and I said, hold this mirror up to you, look in your eyes and say, I love and appreciate you. And she looked at it and she's like, I love and appreciate you. It's just so easy. It's like, wow. So I learned I needed to take baby steps. So I would start looking at myself and saying, I really want to love and appreciate you, you know? And then through the years that evolved into kind of my own mirror work and what felt good to me. Because I noticed it's very powerful when you look into a mirror right in your eyes, a lot of stuff, a lot of emotions, a lot of fear, a lot of pain, you know? So I have started to make it like a conversation that's been really healing for me. So I will look in the mirror, look in my eyes, and I will just say, what are you feeling? I see fear right now. Tell me about it, you know?
Yeah.
And then it's like this I'll just talk as, me. It's almost kind of this like higher adult part of me with this younger, still learning, still afraid part of me. So she'll say, I'm scared of this and I'm scared of that. And I'll just stay with her. I hear you. What else? So there's something, and I can feel it in my body, this like settling down, even if I don't have answers, just the fact that I'm listening to her and I'm loving her, I can feel my body healing and settling down. So it's been a really powerful practice.
And that's I like how you've evolved it from just the basic mirror work that some of us may know about. So,
yeah.
All right, hold up your book one more time for us. You got it there. It's so cool. The Safest Place Possible. You can get it at Amazon. You can find out more about Debbie at debbiemirza.com, MIRZA, debbiemirza.com. Tell me what's next for you. You got an album coming out. You're traveling. Oh my gosh.
I do have an album coming out. It should be coming out, I'm thinking April or May. Right now, all the songs are done and they're going through a copywriting process. So I'm really excited about that. I mean, that's something I talk about in the book. I finally got really clear about what it is that I want. And it was like, I have no idea how to do this. And I was just led to this amazing producer who helped bring the songs out in me. And they're so special. They're just very healing, calming songs. So that's coming out. I'm very excited about that.
Maybe next time we talk, you'll have your album and you can sing a little.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah. In fact, that's definitely something I've been thinking of planning is retreats around. I love the idea of retreats, just having this sacred, safe place to step out of your life and come to and be in nature. And we go through these exercises. And then I was thinking at the end, we could be around a campfire and I could play the songs and sing and do like a personalized concert.
Oh, wouldn't that be lovely?
Planning. Yeah.
Nice.
So I can let you know that one.
Good. Okay. So we've got retreats, we've got travel, we've got the book, we've got music. I don't think you call it CD anymore, but an album, I guess.
Yeah.
Thank you for being a guest on the show today.
Yeah. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate it.
So you can get The Safest Place Possible, Debbie's book, out on Amazon, and go check her out on her website, debbiemirza.com. And it's wonderful having you all on the show again today.
Thank you for listening to the show. If you've enjoyed this episode, please visit us on iTunes, click the subscribe button, and leave us a rating or review to help get the word out. We'll be back next time with more great episodes. Thank you for listening to Michelle Van de Pass's Purpose and Profit.